What's up, Buttercup? Welcome back to my channel. Today's book tag is the reader's profile tag. And thank you for tagging me, Pat, once again. And shout out to the creator of this tag, Hilary B. Green. Now, I think I am going to do okay because I kind of color-coded this go-around. The last tag that Pat tagged me in, I had some problems reading my handwriting, so I don't know if it was like the best tag, but we're trying to rectify this whole situation with this new tag. My bad, people. Let's see if this works out any better. You know, I'm just gonna hope and pray. So yeah, if you see the notebook, it's there. I definitely could not do this without notes. The first question, what makes a good book? And that's a very difficult question to answer, but let's just summarize it briefly so I don't go off the rails for like 15 minutes. A good book to me is interesting, realistic, believable, no plot holes. The characters have agency, whether they're good or bad, they have agency. And I don't need to relate to the main character, but they have to be interesting. And if there is a character, it's usually in horror. Like actually 9 times out of 10, it's a horror book, but I can't relate to the main character. But then when I realize I can't relate to them, then it moves into, are they interesting? And if they're interesting, that's totally good with me. I'll enjoy the book. If the character is not interesting and not relatable, we're probably gonna have some issues with that novel. Number 2, what are you currently reading? Right now, I'm reading Becoming Madam Secretary. It's a thick book by Stephanie Dray, and also Her Soul to Take by Harley Laroe, which is also a thick book. I'm just, you know, I guess going back to my roots about reading thick books. I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, you don't read thick books, long books. I'm like, I do. I just like prefer to read shorter books nowadays. If you look at my other bookshelves that are just, it's all over the place. You will see thick books, long books, hardcovers that need to be hardcovers because if it's a paperback, it would fall apart, you know? Number 3, what's the last book you didn't finish and why? And that would be The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scarlett Lynch. I couldn't deal with the 40+ page prologue, multiple POVs, and the time jumps to the past, present, and future. Pick a timeline and stick to it, please. I DNF'd at 150 pages out of 740. I got the mass market paperback before anyone wants to call me out and say, you didn't read that book. It's a mass market paperback. I understand that the, you know, what hardcover is about 500 pages. Yeah, well. Even then, I wouldn't have continued, but I was certainly not going to continue a 740-page book that I could not stand. Thank you for your time. Moving on to number 4. What obscure book do you wish others would read? And I have quite a few, but let's just go with 3 because 3 is my favorite number. The Last Temptations of Iago Wick by Jennifer Rainey, The Toymaker's Apprentice by Sherry L. Smith, and Finn McCool by Morgan Llewellyn. Number 5, what's the longest book you read? And that's probably most of the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. I think like her last book, Go Tell the Bees I Am Gone, is almost 1,000 pages. And why? Yeah, I have some qualms with the Outlander series. It just keeps going and going. You don't need to do that anymore, but that's okay. Okay, we're gonna move on to number 6. If you could have dinner with 5 fictional characters, who would they be? Finn McCool, Alana from the Lioness middle grade epic fantasy series that I read when I was a kid. Love her. Macbeth, Emily Wilde from the Emily Wilde fairy series, and Sadie from the book Sadie by Courtney Summers. Number 7, 5 books you'd want on a stranded island. Here we go. Y'all are gonna be annoyed, but the Pocket Survival Kit book, Survive by Les Stroud, Survive Ultimate Edition by Les Stroud, the U.S. Army Survivor Manual, and Romeo and Juliet. Why did I choose Romeo and Juliet? Because it's amusing, and that was my first ever Shakespeare play, and it's not a romance, it's a tragedy, but I had that book memorized when I was in middle school. It's not a book to play, whatever. I had it memorized in middle school. I don't know why, it's just like my jam. So here's my one book that's amusing to me, and then all the other books are survival books. Number 8, one book you couldn't put down, and that would be, let's just go with the Emily Wilde Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. Y'all know about that book. I won't shut up about it, so we're just gonna move on to number 9. 5 books or authors you'll never read, and I guess any Western books, because I don't like Westerns. I just don't care whatsoever. Number 10, if you were to write a book, what would it be about? Well, funny you should ask that question. I have 4 chapbooks, 3 standalone novels, and an urban fantasy mystery series, so any and all the things. The chapbooks are poetry. The standalones are either historical fiction or historical fantasy, and then, like I said, the ongoing series, which is under my pen name, Nicole, those are urban fantasy mysteries. So mystery in an urban fantasy setting. Number 11, tag people. We're gonna get into it. Get ready. Bad is Rad 2. Jen, Book and Hearth, Greg, Alan, Bard and Books, Book Blather, Gareth, Cliff, Tracy, Into the Heart World, Jim, and The Secret of Nim. Thank you so much for watching my newest tag video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!